I think the problem here is that there has been in Gaza and throughout the Middle East massive projects of ideological indoctrination that have convinced not only young people, but also their parents that this lifestyle of the jihadi is in fact the noblest way to go. It may not be the most peaceful way to go, but it is the religiously mandated way to go. It may not be the most prosperous way to go, but prosperity doesn't count for anything when you are being asked to sort of follow the will of Allah. So what you have here is a society that is not a normal society. It's a society that has been programmed in a way over several decades, certainly since 2005 when Hamas took power in Gaza, that jihad is their duty and wiping Israel out, that is their objective. That's how they measure success. How many Jews have I killed? How much have we pushed Israel back? Hamas also, I think, has been greatly heartened by its worldwide support. Heartened by the fact that you've got other Western leaders calling for a two-state solution. People like Keir Starmer, people like Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia, Macron, also in Canada, Mark Carney. So Hamas has realized we've got some pretty powerful allies, not just in the Muslim world, but in the world more generally. And not only that, I mentioned this before, but I circulated a video on my social media of a British jihadi talking about how nice it is from the Islamic point of view, from the Islamists' point of view, that they've got all these allies on the American right. And the guy goes on to mention, you can see how familiar he is with social media. He doesn't just mention Tucker, he mentions Candace, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Wallace, and he goes on and on. This guy is, as I say, obviously quite familiar at the level of granular detail about who these right-wingers are on the MAGA side, who are attacking Israel, attacking the Jews, and de facto supporting Hamas, supporting the jihadis globally. In fact, the example that this guy gives on social media has nothing to do with Palestine, nothing to do with a two-state solution even. It has to do with the fact that the Trump administration, having crippled Iran's nuclear facilities, did not go further and wipe out the mullahs themselves, didn't topple the regime. And he goes, who deserves the credit? Who exercised an influence to stop U.S. foreign policy from going the next step? And his answer was, it's the right. It is, as this jihadi sees it, our allies on the right who spoke up and, in a sense, deterred the Trump administration from taking the logical next step and toppling the Iranian regime. And so he goes, basically, we've got to be grateful to these MAGA allies because they are now basically on our side. So, you know, for me, it's very interesting to envision a Candace or envision a Marjorie Taylor Greene. Are these the friends you actually want? Bearded jihadis who want to establish a caliphate across the West and across America? This is basically the Ilhan Omar camp. This is the AOC camp. This is the Mamdani camp. And how odd it is to find people, longtime advocates of MAGA, who are and are on our side of the aisle, backing this terrible cause and these terrible people.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.